Good morning and welcome back to the YouTube channel. We just started a new year. We're about a week into 2025 right now, so I wanted to get on here and make a video about what's been going on the end of 2024, what I'm planning for 2025, and go through some of my goals. There's no time like the beginning of the new year to kind of go in and write down all of my different goals and things I want to achieve. So that's what I'm going to go through with you today. I'm going to talk about some things I have coming up in terms of my fitness and my running, so different races I'm doing, goals, things like that. I also want to go through some of my other goals, so goals for the YouTube channel, where I want to take it, what I want to do, what I want to stop doing, things like that with social media in general and these videos, and also some of my personal goals with other areas of my life that aren't necessarily fitness or this YouTube channel or running, things like that. So I'll also be going through just some of my other personal goals as well. I do have a list of stuff written out, so we'll go through it. I think I'm gonna start with the fitness goals because that's typically what this channel is about, and then we'll just go from there. So in 2024, the last recent big thing I did, and you probably saw the video about this, was October 2024, I competed in the Chicago Marathon. If you haven't seen the video, it'll be linked. I'm sure you can find it somewhere on the channel. But I did that. That was a very big build for me. I had a lot going on. I moved. I started a new job while I was building. A whole bunch of things happened, but you can go see that. And then the rest of 2024, I made a couple videos trying to kind of document what I was doing, but not as many as I would have liked, or the quality which I would have liked. So I guess the best way to start this is go through my list of what I wrote out, starting with my fitness and my running goals for 2025 and the things I have planned. So I have two major time goals, and this year I'm stepping back on the distances that I'm racing. So the past 2 years I've been really focused on, I want to run a sub 3 hour marathon, which is a milestone that a lot of people want to achieve, and that's what I set out to do. But I'm kind of taking a step back from that because that is a big load on the body when you're training for something like that. It's just kind of a lot to do. So this year I'm going to focus more on shorter distances while my legs still kind of have that in them when I'm young. So the main goal I want to focus on this year is I want to run a really fast half marathon. Now I've done a couple of half marathons in the past. I ran an hour 28 back when I was in high school, and then in the previous marathon that I ran, I split like an hour and 25 or something during the marathon. And so I have two goals for this half marathon. My first goal, I have a race scheduled in April, which is going to be my first race of the year. It's a half marathon, and I want to run close to an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm not sure what the pace is on that. I think it's like around 6 minutes, something like that. But that's my first goal. And then later in the year, I think it's in October, I'm planning on running the Detroit Free Press Half Marathon, which is local to me. I've heard it's a great race. It's international. You go to Canada, you come back. And for that one, I want to run an hour and 15, which is ambitious because based on my previous times, it's an ambitious goal. But I think if I'm focusing on my speed this year and focusing on my fitness for that distance specifically, I think I'll be able to get at least close to it. But yeah, my two main goals for the half marathon: April, I want to run close to an hour 20. October, I want to run close to an hour 15. Those are the only two half marathons that I have on the schedule right now. So that's two races already. One thing in 2025, I want to do more races. I don't really like the whole train a whole year for one race and then put all your eggs in one basket. So I do have a couple of other things on the calendar, but that's two right there. So two half marathons, one in the spring, one in the fall. I think that'll be good for me. Another race I want to do, I want to run a couple of 5Ks just to see, because I haven't run a fast 5K in a long time. And I feel like I never got to the point where I felt I knew how fast I could get with a 5K. And so for that, I'm not really going to plan too many races ahead of time. I'm just going to do them, kind of in between that first half marathon and the last half marathon as a bridge. So that I'll be racing kind of throughout the summer and the beginning of the fall, and I kind of know where I stand. So my 5K, I have a goal. I want to run sub 17 minutes in a 5K. And I know it's different whether you're on a track versus on a road or wherever you run it. So I'm going to try and find some road races, and we'll see. That one is more of a secondary goal for me. The half marathon is a primary goal, but it's always fun to see how fast you can run. And I think this year will be a good opportunity for me to have more races that are shorter so they're not as hard on my body. And I'll get more of a consistent feel of how fit I am and what I need to work on, what I need to change. Beyond that, those two main areas for 2025. I also want to run a trail race at some point. Trail racing has been something that I've been super interested in for a while, and I think I did a little bit of it last summer. I did a trip to Ireland where we did some trail runs, and I had a blast. So I think that'll be a fun way to kind of break things up in the middle of the summer. I think there's one in the summer that I have written down that I want to do, but a trail race would be fun. Something longer, something slower where I can just go and chill out a little bit but still run hard. So those are my fitness goals. Like I said, I want to race more this year, more often, more than just once or twice any huge blocks building into it. So I'll be racing throughout the year, which means more videos should be coming about races and my actual fitness instead of just training, marathon, nothing. So those are my fitness goals, but a little bit more of a chill year compared to previous years. I don't have a big, huge race that I'm building up to, which is kind of good. I think you need that every once in a while, especially when you're working a full-time job and you have other things going on. It's good to be flexible. I know. So we've got that part of the list, but let's talk about the YouTube channel. Let's talk about videos, what to expect in 2025 and where I want to take it, what I want to do. And the reason for this video is actually inspired by a different YouTuber, Brody Searle, who put out a video very similar to this, and it inspired me to kind of take all these thoughts that I'd written down and all these goals and everything and put them out there so that people know and they can know what's coming and what to expect and where to go to find things. So one of the things that I've been thinking about, and his video actually prompted this as well, is that when I'm doing how I've done in the past, a big marathon build or off-season training or whatever I'm doing, I got to the point where I feel like I'm just documenting for the sake of documenting, which is fine, right? You're making videos every week, like, oh, I ran 60 miles this week, I did this workout, this long run, this is what I ate, bam, publish the video, you're done. Which is good, which is fine, and there's definitely a place for that. But for me, I think the reason I started making videos was because I had a background in photography and different creative pursuits going way back into various things, but the reason I started making videos and posting them was because I'm already doing all this running and training and all these things, and if I can find a creative way to present that and bring that to people, then I think that can be really cool, right? So if I can make cool images, or if I can make neat videos that people look at and they say, wow, that tells a story, that's creative, that's neat, I want to do that, then that's the reason why I go through and actually make these videos. And so something I want to do in 2025 is kind of move the YouTube channel away from just strict documentation, and I want to spend more time on making projects that I'm happier with. So I won't have videos out as often. So in the past, I've done videos every week, every 2 weeks, and I felt like that just wasn't really sustainable when I'm working a full-time job, when I have family, when I have events, friends, things going on in the background. I felt like that wasn't really sustainable for me with my training schedule. But I still want to make these videos and I want to tell the story. And so it might just take a little longer. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks for a video might be waiting a little longer, but the result is going to be a video that I think is more well put together, that's more thought out, that's higher quality. And so that's where I want to take YouTube. In 2025, I'll talk about the other part of social media soon, but for YouTube, I want to make more longer form content that's more storytelling and more creative work versus just documenting day in the life, week in the life, the same thing over and over and over again. And I think there'll be a group of people that can appreciate that, hopefully. And I think it's a positive thing because it'll allow me to create more high quality content and take my time with it and really produce something I'm happy with. With that, I do recognize that there is a lot of people who really do like seeing the day-to-day and the week-to-week of the training. So how many miles I ran in the week, the workouts I did, what food I ate, what I'm doing for strength, how I'm recovering, all the things like that that are the mundane daily tasks. I do recognize there's a huge market for that, and there's a lot of people that really enjoy seeing that. And so I don't want to completely get away from that. And so I want to start posting that type of content in a different location from my YouTube. I feel like YouTube is a place for long form content that I can take my time with, be creative with, and actually tell a story, which is fine. That's YouTube, right? The other half is the day-to-day life. And so that's where I think I'm going to move to Instagram Reels for that, something like that, where I'm just taking everything I did in a week, putting it into a reel, sending it out at the end of the week. So anybody who wants to follow, they can go on and say, oh, he ran 45 miles this week. These are the 2 workouts he did. This is what he's done the whole year, and this is what to expect coming forward. And I think that's more sustainable, right? Because shorter form content is good for documenting the day-to-day and like the statistics portion of it. So that's what I'm going to be moving to. I'm going to be probably making a new Instagram account where you can go follow, and it's going to have these, anything that I can do short form that's kind of just documenting my day-to-day. And so those are going to be my 2 buckets for 2025. Is going to be YouTube for longer form, more creative content, and then probably Instagram is going to be for, just day-to-day documenting my training, my progress, what I'm eating, anything like that is going to go into the short form content. That's really the main things I wanted to get at with social media. That's been something that's been festering in my mind for a while, of how to balance between the two, because I do enjoy doing both types of content, and I think this is going to be a good balance, but we'll see how it ends up working out and if any changes need to be made. After the fitness goals for this year and kind of going through where I'm going to take the YouTube and the social media, there's one more thing that I do want to accomplish in 2025. There's something I've put off for too many years, something I've wanted to do for too many years, but if you're not aware, in my civilian life, I have a job as a software developer. That's my background. I got a degree in computer science, all the works, and something I've wanted to do for a long time is I want to build an app. I want to have something deployed on the App Store where people can go and download it and use it. And for pretty much the only reason I haven't done this up until this point is for lack of trying. I've wanted to, I've started, I've stopped, it just hasn't come to fruition, but I think I'm at a point now where I know enough and I have enough skill set to I can actually get something working. And so that'll be a long-term goal for 2025, and I'll have to see how it's received, but I might document the process of that as well. I'm still working on nailing down ideas for what I actually want to develop, because you can't just say I want to make an app without having an idea. So that's going to be a big first part of 2025 for me, is thinking, what can I actually make that'll benefit me, that'll benefit people, and that'll serve me well in the App Store and experience moving forward. But something I just wanted to mention, as it might be coming up, documented in a couple of videos or things, just seeing what the interest level is. But I've always wanted to have something of my own developed and deployed that people use, and that's a big personal goal of mine in 2025. So I hope that was a little helpful in explaining where we're going to be going in 2025 in the new year. A lot of exciting things. We have a lot of races coming up in the spring and the summer and the fall, and so stay tuned for that. There's going to be a lot happening this year. I think it's a lot of good things, so I'm excited, and I hope you're excited as well to see what we have cooking.